The Liberty Archery program has become a household name in the archery community, as they have consistently hit the mark over the last few seasons, including winning 12 individual national championships. And this season, the Flames aim for the same goal, bringing home another national title. And joining me now is the head coach of the archery team, Ian Rigney. Ian, thanks for sitting down and talking with us.
Yeah, glad to.
Ian, let's talk about this past year. I mean, we've seen over the last couple of years, the team has kind of gone through a big boom when it comes to having X amount of competitors with a roster. But this year, you decided to kind of almost had to downsize it because you guys were expanding too much. But talk a little bit about that downsizing, because it really has played a benefit in y'all's factor.
Yeah, we last year when I took over in the fall, we had about 23 members that came in, and at that time, we were just looking to see, what does Liberty have to offer as far as archers go. And so we went through that whole year with 23 archers. We would have tryouts to actually see who went to travel for the events. And then coming into this year, we actually downsized to our travel team just for cost matters, and then also too just looking at our quality players and trying to focus more on them, having 14 people to critique, 14 people to coach, 14 people to say, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, this is how you can be a better archer. It just was beneficial all around to improve on our quality, more so than just saying, hey, we got 23 people that are average. Now we can say we've got 14 national ranking archers.
And yeah, showing about that quality, it really has shown, because you guys recently competed in the 3D Outdoor National Championships. And I know the goal was to win a national title there, but you were able to have multiple members of your rosters, you just talked about, show that quality, because you had a lot of them placed in the top 10 of the nation in their respective categories. So even though the goal was to win a national title, you still achieved some of the other goals that you did set out before the competition started.
Yeah, when we come home, we had our heads hung pretty low because we're used to winning. We're used to, in the last 10 years, won 10 titles, not necessarily every year, but multiple titles at different events. And to not have any podium finishes kind of hurt us a little, but looking back at it, we had a lot of positives. We've got a young team. Most of my team members now are not used to 3D archery. They're used to target archery. So this was brand new to them. And for them to go in and finish, most of them finished in the top 10. We didn't have any, I think this is the first tournament we've ever had where we didn't have any of our archery team members finish last. So looking at that, that's a success in itself. So across the board, we've been a dominant team across America. On the collegiate level for the last 10 years, and it's just a matter now of really focusing on those 14 team members and bringing them out of the top 10 into the top 5 and hopefully into the top 3 here in the upcoming year.
And I know when you were a competitor, you're actually kind of pretty well known in the archery community, winning a fair amount of national champions yourself, and kind of transitioning into becoming the head coach. What was that been like? Because when you were on the team, archery, for Liberty at least, wasn't as well known as it is now. And now, as you just touched on, it is a nationally known thing, because you guys are consistently not only ranked, but also Liberty Archery is a pretty well household name in the archery community.
Yeah, we're in the top 5 in the nation right now, but transitioning from athlete to coach has kind of been a big transition, because it's easy enough for me to say, all right, this is what I need to do as a competitor in the competition, but when I don't really have control as to what I need them to do now, it's a big transition. I've actually quit shooting a lot of the competitions and focus more on how I can better teach how to shoot, instead of focusing on my own shooting, focusing on how can they shoot better and use the mindset. Archery a lot of times is 90% mental and 10% skill, so trying to get that mental mindset as to like when we were at 3D Nationals, and we had a lot of guys and girls that were in the top 3 after the day one. And so going home and realizing that they were in the top 3 and then finishing 10th, 11th, 12th, trying to keep your mindset, keep your cool, and just stay in the running is a hard thing to do, but it's a position I've been in a few times. And so, archery, I can show them how to shoot and those types of things, but it's just a matter of keeping your confidence, keeping your demeanor down, and just making good shots.
And with this team, as you said, obviously downsizing, but also kind of different because the youth movement is live in effect with Liberty Archery because your team is fairly young. What's that been like trying to not only teach such a young group about the history with Liberty Archery, but even more so now showing them like trying to get them acclimated to, as you said, this style of archery because, as you said, a lot of people are getting out of their comfort zones of the type of way they've been used to shooting all their lives.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that hard because our team has always been a family-oriented team. You know, they hang out outside of practice. So hanging out with the other guys that have already been a part of it, that are juniors and seniors, the freshmen and sophomores are more acclimated to just, you know, the whole 3D side of things. 3D is more laid back than the FIDA style archery and the indoor style archery. So talking to the bow hunters that, you know, are normally shooting at 3D targets just really gets their mindset in the game for it. And I don't expect that they'll do any worse at indoor nationals because now they're getting back into their comfort zone as we transition into February.
And yeah, talk a little bit about that indoors, like going into next semester. Obviously, we're about to have a little bit of a break coming up, but trying to keep everyone prepared and also mentally dialed in because once everyone comes back, it really is going to be right around the corner for indoor nationals.
It is. We have a little bit more time. Last year, we had to actually go before classes ever started to Kentucky. But really what I focused on the last 3 weeks in between 3D and the end of the semester is getting their 20-yard sighted in because we shoot 20 yards, 18 meters. We shoot 60 arrows, and you're shooting at something the size of a quarter. So the last 3 weeks has just been sighting in, making sure you can hit that 10 ring. And they'll go home, they'll practice. They've got local archery shops. Some have places in their own homes where they can shoot. And they know what to expect. They know that they need to be sighted in, and then they'll just start now. Repetition as far as what their scores need to be, trying to shoot that 300. And I think they'll be ready. I'm going to be encouraging them throughout the semester through emails and, you know, just making sure, checking in that they're practicing, making sure their equipment's right, and making sure we're ready to go when February comes.
Well, Ian, thanks for sitting down with us. And yeah, I'm sure you guys will be ready to go when February gets here.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.